It's Lady Saoirse, or April, should I say it, Eating at April's. Now, I am getting this set up. I'm telling you what, I am not the best at making videos. And I think it's a little bright in here. Oh, that's, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to move you to the other side. So, what I want to make for you today is something that we eat quite a lot. It's gluten-free pancakes, and we make ours from scratch. Now, let me get my apron on. No. There. It adjusted itself. I don't know what it is about the new laptops. The recording is just not fabulous. Let me get my apron. Now, before we have to go gluten-free, what we used to just do is get like the Mrs. Butterworth's mix or whatever. And we used to go crazy with that and put blueberries in it and everything. But the fact is, you don't need to do all that. Especially if you're going to go gluten-free, the gluten-free mixes can get quite expensive, can't they? They absolutely can. And they don't necessarily taste that great, but I'm going to show you the flour that I use. This right here, this is the Pamela's Artisanal Blend. And I'm going to read you the ingredients in it. It's brown rice flour, tapioca starch, white rice flour, potato starch, sorghum flour, arrowroot flour, and guar gum. And this is measure for measure with whatever your type of flour that you use is, and it tastes just like the real thing. My pancake recipe comes from this cookbook right here, and the recipe in full is down in the description. This is the buttermilk buckwheat cakes, and I'm using half of what they call for because it's just the two of us. We never eat enough to justify doing the whole thing, although it does freeze well. Now, I've already mixed up the dry ingredients, so I didn't have buckwheat flour today, so I just used my regular gluten-free flour and then my rising agents. Now, if you're using a regular flour, you can use self-rising and then just not put in the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt and just put in a little bit of sugar. But if you do have buckwheat, it will give it a different taste and texture, and it's downright lovely. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to so you'll notice when I first started doing cooking videos, I didn't wear these. Well, I had an accident in the kitchen, and my husband had at one time worked in restaurants, and he said restaurant staff quite often will wear protective eye gear. So that's what I do. So my dry mix is in here, and this recipe calls for 3 eggs. Doing a half a recipe, you use an egg and a half, just throw out one of the yolks. That's all you have to do. And with your buttermilk, if you don't have buttermilk, you can just use regular milk and use a little bit less. When you want to make your own buttermilk, you just put a little bit of vinegar in there with for it to thicken up. You can put the vinegar in if you want to give it that sour flavor. So let's get started. Okay, eggs. 1 egg. Half an egg. Throw out the yolk. If you're like me, I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to add the buttermilk until I like the consistency. You can use a whisk or you can use a spoon. I'm using a spoon. Okay. This also calls for melted butter. I'm too lazy to melt the butter, so I'm just going to add a splash of oil. This is corn oil. You can use whatever you want. Some country folk even use melted bacon fat or shortening. If you want to be all bougie, put in some melted coconut oil. That's lovely. Okay, we're going to mix. Just like if you buy a pancake mix, see, that's entirely too thick. A little bit more. You can always add more, but you can't take away. A little bit more. And how thin or how thick this is depends on what your style of pancakes are. Some people will thin out a regular pancake recipe to make crepes. Still too thick. You can also use heavy cream. Okay, so we're getting there. Just a little bit more. That ought to get it. All right, that's it. Put my jug away. Get up. Now, this plate is to put the pancakes on. Get everything ready before you turn on the stove. Some people use a griddle. I'm a cheapskate. I don't care to do that. Is that to put the butter on? And in this house, we do use real butter instead of margarine. You use whatever your little heart desires. There are options that we use for our pancakes. We've got an apple sauce pancake recipe. We use apple butter instead because we live in Ohio and that's how we roll. And then we have a what's it called? Hummingbird cake variation, which just has coconut and crushed pineapple and cinnamon, and you can put nuts in that. This is still a little thick. Yeah, I don't want it that thick. Now your batter is going to be lumpy. It's 90% mixed. I'm going to start the heat on medium, and I'm going to go ahead and pop the butter in. And that out just a touch more, because this does call for a lot of liquid. Now, depending on how many pancakes you're making, you may need to thin this out during the process. We're good. Put my cookbook aside. Now, put everything over here so we can get closer into the pan. Need to see my goggle besodden face. You're going to want to look in the pan for this. You can turn the heat up. You can turn the heat down. If you've not made your own pancakes before, the first one is going to take longer, and you're going to be turning the heat down. You're going to be turning the heat down as you go along because the pancakes will cook faster and you're not going to want to burn them. The wonderful thing about pancakes, though, is they also freeze. So if there's too many, which in this house we usually don't have that problem. Yeah. But the dry mix took me about 5 minutes to put together. If you don't have an extra 5 minutes, I don't know what to tell you. When I first started studying music 20 odd years ago, I was telling my music teacher, I don't have as much time to study. And he said, turn off the TV. The extra time that we spend doing things that aren't necessarily good for us, we could be doing other things like cooking yummy things. So I've got a setting of up to 10 on the notches. I've got it turned up to 6 at this point. Okay, and it's sizzling a little bit. Come on in closer. You can make your pancakes as large or as small as you want to. I like to make them the size 1 pancake per person. Fruit, if you want blueberries in there, now's the time to put them in there. What I'll do is I'll buy blueberries, pop them in the freezer, take them out, put them in warm water, and then dry them off, and I'll just plop them in there. I'm just going to do 1 pancake with you because it's going to be boring for you to watch me do all of the pancakes. And I'm sure that you have more important things to do than just watch me, like go to the store and get stuff to make these pancakes with. I'm putting the milk up. We have been having quite a lot of rain and flooding in central Ohio. They set the floodgates up in Franklinton today and closed part of I-71 and some roads. We're in Lewis Center where it's nice and dry, and we have not had to worry about that, which is really, really fabulous. So now you can see the form on there, but you want to wait until the bubbles open up before you flip this bitch. In this kitchen, we cuss when we feel like it, even if we're not mad. So what I'm going to do is I've got a pound of nitrate-free, sugar-free, organic bacon that I'm going to pop in the microwave and cook because oven bacon is really fabulous, but I hate cleaning the oven. I will do it, but the less bacon you fry in the oven, the less you're going to have to cook it. So this right here sugar. People tell you that when you're trying to eat healthier, I mean, as you can see, my arm is still big around enough that I'm not skinny mini. You can still have things like bacon and pancakes. You can't have 4 pancakes this size and a half a pound of bacon. I'm going to have 1 pancake tomorrow with a couple of tablespoons of real maple syrup, and I'm going to have 2 slices of this bacon. So let's see what we're looking at. 2 pan-fried slices of this bacon is 90 calories, and you get 8 grams of protein. I don't know how much protein is in this, and I don't care, but I know there's some of the buttermilk. After I eat this, I'm going to have an apple tomorrow because that's literally my favorite thing in the whole wide world is a icy, cold, juicy, crunchy, delicious apple. If you've watched any amount of my videos, I'm down 80 pounds, but as you can see, I should probably lose another 40. I don't want to. I'm doing push-ups every day. I'm walking. I'm having salad every night. And most nights I don't have any salad dressing because I love my raw vegetables so much. I don't need it. But I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know if I have it in me to lose a total of 120 pounds. I don't know. cake tastes too good. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you, we're getting to being able to flip this. I'm going to let the holes get just a little bit bigger before I do, but I wish you were here. This smells so good. We've used real buttermilk. We've used real butter. I used a little bit of sugar in there. We're going to have real maple syrup. This is real bacon. This is all real food. I don't want you to think when you're trying to diet that you can't have any of this, because if you do, you're going to lose weight and you're going to gain it all back. I have done it before. All right, now take a look at that. That's how I have it. Because I have my pancakes big, I have to be careful. Oh, man. Look at that. You tell me that doesn't look good. Now, I'm going to finish this pancake, and I'm going to cut this off because, like I said, each pancake is going to be the same. Oh, God, that looks so good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It smells so wonderful. There have been a lot of recalls on blueberries recently, so we didn't get any berries to put in. But I promise this is going to be just as good like this. You can also cook a blueberry sauce on the stove if you want to cook up your berries. That second side is a little blonde, so I'm going to give it just a few more seconds. This is a one pan fix. This is very, very easy. And there's nothing quite like fresh pancakes. We make enough for 3 days and pop it in the fridge. I'm making this today, and we're going to have some tomorrow, which is Friday. Then we're going to have some Saturday, and we're going to have some Sunday. We'll have it with cheesy scrambled eggs. And she's done. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, y'all, this has been gluten-free pancakes made from scratch with Eating at April's. Enjoy that recipe. Bye-bye.